John 6. After this, Yeshua went away to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, that is Lake Kinnereth. And a large crowd was following him because they saw his signs which he did on those who were sick. And Yeshua went up on a mountain, and there he sat down with his taught ones. And the Passah was near, the festival of the Yehudim. Then Yeshua, lifting up his eyes and seeing a large crowd coming toward him, said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for them to eat?" And this he said, trying him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them, for every one of them to receive a little. One of his taught ones, Andrew, the brother of Shema Kepha, said to him, "Here is a boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes. But what are these for so many?" And Yeshua said, "Make the people sit down." Now there was much grass in the place, and the man numbering about 5,000 sat down. And Yeshua took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed them to the taught ones, and the taught ones to those sitting down, and the same with the fish, as much as they wished. And when they were filled, he sent to his taught ones, "Gather the broken pieces that are left over, so that none gets wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with broken pieces of the 5 barley loaves, which were left over by those who had eaten. Then the man, having seen the sign that Yeshua did, said, "This is truly the prophet who is coming to the world." Then Yeshua, knowing that they were about to come and seize him, that they might make him sovereign, withdrew again to the mountain, alone by himself. And when evening came, his taught ones went down to the sea, and entering into a boat, they were going over the sea towards Capharnaum. And it had already become dark, and Yeshua had not yet come to them. And the sea was rising, because a great wind was blowing. When they had rowed about 25 or 30 stadia, they saw Yeshua walking on the sea and coming near the boat, and they were afraid. And he said to them, "It is I, do not be afraid." They wished therefore to take him into the boat, and at once the boat was at the land where they were going. On the next day, the crowd that was standing on the other side of the sea saw that there was no other boat there except the one into which his taught ones had entered, and that Yeshua had not entered the boat with his taught ones, but his taught ones went away alone. But other boats came from Kinnereth, near the place where they ate bread after the master had given thanks. Therefore, when the crowd saw that Yeshua was not there, nor his taught ones, they themselves also entered into the boats and came to Capharnaum, seeking Yeshua. And having found him on the other side of the sea, they asked him, "Rabbi, when did you come here?" Yeshua answered them and said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you seek me, not because you saw signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were satisfied. Do not labor for the food that is perishing, but for the food that is remaining to everlasting life, which the Son of Adam shall give you. For the Father, Elohim, has set his seal on him." So they said to him, "What should we do to work the works of Elohim?" Yeshua answered and said to them, "This is the work of Elohim, that you believe in him whom he sent." So they said to him, "What sign then would you do so that we see and believe you? What would you do? Our fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, as it's been written. He gave them bread out of the heavens to eat." Therefore Yeshua said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, Moshe did not give you the bread out of the heavens, but my Father gives you the true bread out of the heaven. For the bread of Elohim is he who comes down out of the heaven and gives life to the world." So they said to him, "Master, give us this bread always." And Yeshua said to them, "I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall not get hungry at all, and he who believes in me shall not get thirsty at all. But I said to you that you have seen..." Wow. "But I said to you that you have seen me and still do not believe. All that the Father gives me shall come to me, and the one who comes to me I shall by no means cast out, because I have come down out of the heaven, not to do my own desire, but the desire of him who sent me. This is the desire of the Father who sent me, that all he has given me I should not lose of it, but should raise it in the last day. And this is the desire of him who sent me, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him should possess everlasting life, and I shall raise him up in the last day. Therefore the Yehudim were grumbling against him, because he said, I am the bread which came down out of the heaven. And they said, is not this Yeshua, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he says, I have come down out of the heaven? Then Yeshua answered and said to them, do not grumble with one another. No one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I shall raise him up in the last day. It has been written in the prophets, and they shall all be taught by Yahweh. Everyone then who has heard from the Father and learned comes to me. Not that anyone has seen the Father except he who is from Elohim. He has seen the Father. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes in me possesses everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the bread which comes down out of the heavens, so that anyone might eat of it and not die. I am the living bread. Excuse me. I am the living bread which came down out of the heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he shall live forever. And indeed the bread that I shall give is my flesh, which I shall give for the life of the world. The Yehudim therefore were striving with one another, saying, how is this one able to give us his flesh to eat? Yeshua therefore said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Adam and drink his blood, you possess no life in yourselves. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood possesses everlasting life, and I shall raise him up in the last day. For my flesh is truly food, and my blood is truly drink. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood stays in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so he who feeds on me shall live because of me. This is the bread which came down out of the heaven, not as your fathers ate the manna and died. He who eats this bread shall live forever. He said this in a congregation teaching in Capernaum. Therefore many of his taught ones, having heard, said, this word is hard, who is able to hear it? But Yeshua, knowing within himself that his taught ones were grumbling about this, said to them, does this make you stumble? What if you see the Son of Adam going up where he was before? It is the Spirit that gives life. The flesh does not profit at all. The words that I speak to you are spirit and are life. But there are some of you who do not believe, for Yeshua knew from the beginning who they were who did not believe and who would deliver him up. And he said, because of this I have said to you that no one is able to come to me unless it has been given to him by my Father. From then on, many of his taught ones withdrew and were not walking with him anymore. Yeshua therefore said to the 12, do you also wish to go away? Then Shimon Kepha answered him, Master, to whom shall we go? You possess words of everlasting life, and we have believed, and we know that you are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim. Yeshua answered them, have I not chosen you, the 12, and one of you is a devil? He was now speaking of Yehuda from Kerioth, the son of Shimon, for he, one of the 12, was about to deliver him up. Chapter 7. And after this, Yeshua was walking in Galilee, for he did not wish to walk in Yehuda, because the Yehudim were seeking to kill him. And the festival of the Yehudim was near the festival of Sukkot. So his brothers said to him, "Get away from here and go into Yehuda, so that your taught ones also see the works that you are doing. For no one acts in secret while he himself seeks to be known openly. If you do these works, show yourself to the world." For even his brothers did not believe in him. Yeshua therefore said to them, "My time has not yet come, but your time is always ready. It is impossible for the world to hate you, but it hates me because I bear witness of it, that its works are wicked. You go up to this festival. I am not yet going up to this festival, for my time has not yet been filled." And having said this to them, he stayed in Galilee. But when his brothers had gone up to the festival, then he also went up, not openly, but as it were in secret. The Yehudim therefore were seeking him at the festival, and said, "Where is he?" And there was much grumbling about him among the crowd. Some were saying, "He is good," but others were saying, "No, but he is leading the crowd astray." However, no one spoke openly of him for fear of the Yehudim. And about the middle of the festival, Yeshua went up into the set-apart place, and he was teaching. And the Yehudim were marveling, saying, "How does this man know letters, not having learned?" Yeshua answered them and said, "My teaching is not mine, but his who sent me. If anyone desires to do his desire, he shall know concerning the teaching, whether it is from Elohim or whether I speak from myself. He who speaks from himself is seeking his own esteem, but he who seeks the esteem of the one who sent him is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Did not Moshe give you the Torah? Yet not one of you does the Torah. Why do you seek to kill me?" The crowd answered and said, "You have a demon. Who seeks to kill you?" Yeshua answered and said to them, "I did one work, and you all marvel. Because of this, Moshe has given you the circumcision. Though it is not from Moshe, but from the fathers, and you circumcise a man on the Sabbath. If a man receives circumcision on the Sabbath so that the Torah of Moshe should not be broken, are you wroth with me because I made a man entirely well on the Sabbath? Do not judge according to appearance, but judge with righteous judgment." Therefore some of them from Jerusalem said, "Is this not he whom they are seeking to kill? And see, he speaks boldly, and they say none at all to him. Couldn't it be that the rulers truly know that this is truly the Messiah? But we know where this one is from, and when the Messiah comes, no one knows where he is from." Yeshua therefore cried out in the set-apart place, teaching and saying, "You both know me, and you know where I am from. And I have not come of myself, but he who sent me is true, whom you do not know. But I know him, because I am from him, and he sent me." So they were seeking to seize him, but no one laid a hand on him, because his hour had not yet come. And many of the crowd believed in him and said, "When Messiah comes, shall he do more signs than these which this one did?" The Pharisees heard the crowd muttering these matters concerning him, and the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to seize him. Therefore Yeshua said to them, "Yet a little while I am with you, then I go to him who sent me. You shall seek me, and you shall not find me, and where I am you are unable to come." The Yehudim therefore said to themselves, "Where is he about to go that we shall not find him? Is he about to go to the dispersion among the Greeks, and to teach the Greeks? What is this word which he said, 'You shall seek me, and you shall not find me, and where I am you are unable to come'?" And on that day, a great day of festival, Yeshua stood and cried out, saying, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me, and let him who believes in me drink. As the scripture said, out of his innermost shall flow rivers of living water." And this he said concerning the Spirit, which those believing in him were about to receive, for the set-apart Spirit was not yet given, because Yeshua was not yet esteemed. Many from the crowd, when they heard the word, then said, "This truly is the prophet." Others said, "This is the Messiah." But others said, "Does the Messiah then come out of Galilee? Did not the scriptures say that the Messiah comes from the seed of David and from the village of Bethlehem where David was?" So a division came about among the people because of him, and some of them wished to take him, but no one laid hands on him. The officers therefore came to the chief priests and the Pharisees and said to them, "Why did you not bring him?" The officers answered, "Never has any man spoken like this man." The Pharisees therefore answered them, "Have you also been led astray? Has any one of the rulers or of the Pharisees believed in him? But this crowd that does not know the Torah is accursed." Nakdimon, who came to Yeshua by night, being one of them, said to them, "Does our Torah judge the man unless it hears first from him and knows what he is doing?" They answered and said to him, "Are you also from Galilee? Search and see that no prophet has arisen out of Galilee." And each one went to his own house. Chapter 8. And Yeshua went to the Mount of Olives. And at dawn he came again to the set-apart place, and all the people were coming to him. And having sat down, he was teaching them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery, and having set her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. And in the Torah Moshe commanded us that such should be stoned. What then do you say?" And this they said, trying him, so that they might accuse him. But Yeshua, bending down, wrote on the ground with the finger, as though he did not hear. But as they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "He who is without sin among you, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." And bending down again, he wrote on the ground. And when they heard it, being reproved by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning from the older ones until the last. And Yeshua was left alone, and the woman standing in the middle. And Yeshua, straightening up and seeing no one but the woman, said to her, "Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Did no one condemn you?" And she said, "No one, Master." And Yeshua said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Therefore Yeshua spoke to them again, saying, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall by no means walk in darkness, but possess the light of life." The Pharisees therefore said to him, "You bear witness about yourself. Your witness is not true." Yeshua answered and said to them, "Even if I witness concerning myself, my witness is true, for I know where I came from and where I am going. But you do not know from where I come or where I go. You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. But even if I do judge, my judgment is true, because I am not alone in it, but I and the Father who sent me. And in your Torah also it has been written that the witness of two men is true. I am one who witnesses concerning myself, and the Father who sent me witnesses concerning me. Therefore they say to him, "Where is your Father?" Yeshua answered, "You know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would have known my Father also." These words Yeshua spoke in the treasury, teaching in the set-apart place, and no one laid hands on him, because his hour had not yet come. Therefore Yeshua said to them again, "I am going away, and you shall seek me, and you shall die in your sin. Where I go, you are unable to come." Then the Yehudim said, "Shall he kill himself, because he says, 'Where I go, you are unable to come'?" And he said to them, "You are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. Therefore I said to you that you shall die in your sins. For if you do not believe that I am he, you shall die in your sins." Then they said to him, "Who are you?" And Yeshua said to them, altogether, that which I even say to you. I have much to say and to judge concerning you. But he who sent me is true. And what I heard from him, these words I speak to the world. They did not know that he spoke to them of the Father. So Yeshua said to them, when you lift up the Son of Adam, then you shall know that I am he, and that I do none at all of myself, but as my Father taught me, these words I speak. And he who sent me is with me. The Father has not left me alone, for I always do what pleases him. As he was speaking these words, many believed in him. So Yeshua said to those Yehudim who believed him, if you stay in my word, you are truly my taught ones, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, who are the seed of Abraham, and have been servants to no one in any time? How do you say you shall become free? And Yeshua answered them, truly, truly, I say to you, everyone doing sin is a servant of sin, and the servant does not stay in the house forever. A son stays forever. If then the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed. I know that you are the seed of Abraham, but you seek to kill me because my word has no place in you. I speak what I have seen with my Father, and you do what you have heard from your father. They answered and said to him, Abraham is our father. Yeshua said to them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has spoken to you the truth, which I heard from Elohim. Abraham did not do this. You do the works of your father. Then they said to him, we were not born of whoring. We have one Father, Elohim. Yeshua said to them, if Elohim were your father, you would love me, for I came forth from Elohim and am here. For I have not come of myself, but he who sent me. But he sent me. Why do you not know what I say? Because you are unable to hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you wish to do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and has not stood in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks the lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I speak the truth, you do not believe me. Who of you proves me wrong concerning sin? If I speak the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of Elohim hears the words of Elohim. Therefore you do not hear, because you are not of Elohim. The Yehudim answered and said to him, do we not say well that you are a Shomeroni and have a demon? Yeshua answered, I do not have a demon, but I value my Father, and you do not value me. And I do not seek my own esteem. There is one who is seeking and is judging. Truly, truly, I say to you, if anyone guards my word, he shall never see death at all. The Yehudim said to him, now we know that you have a demon. Abraham died, and the prophets, and you say, if anyone guards my word, he shall never taste death at all. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died, and the prophets died? Whom do you make yourself? Yeshua answered, if I esteem myself, my esteem is none at all. It is my Father who esteems me, of whom you say that he is your Elohim, and you have not known him, but I know him. And if I say I do not know him, I shall be like you, a liar. But I do know him, and I guard his word. Your father Abraham was glad that he should see my day, and he saw it and did rejoice. The Yehudim therefore said to him, you are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? Yeshua said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham came to be, I am. Therefore, they picked up stones to throw at him, but Yeshua was hidden and went out of the set-apart place, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. Chapter 9. And passing by, he saw a man blind from birth, and his taught ones asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he would be born blind? Yeshua answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of Elohim might be made manifest in him. It is necessary for me to work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming, when no one is able to work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Having said this, he spat on the ground and made clay with the saliva and applied the clay to the eyes of the blind man. And he said to him, go wash in the pool of Shiloah, which means sent. So that he went and washed and came seeing. Therefore the neighbors and those who saw him before that he was blind said, Is not this he who is sitting and begging? Others said, this is he. Others said, he is like him. He said, I am. So they said to him, how were your eyes opened? He answered and said, a man called Yeshua made clay and applied it to my eyes and said to me, go to the pool of Shiloah and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. And they said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know. They brought to the Pharisees the one who was once blind. Now it was the Sabbath when Yeshua made the clay and opened his eyes. Therefore the Pharisees also asked him again how he had received his sight. He said to them, he put clay on my eyes, and I washed, and I see. Therefore some of the Pharisees said, this man is not from Elohim, because he does not guard the Sabbath. Others said, how is a man who is a sinner able to do such miracles? And there was a division among them. So they said to the blind one again, what do you say about him, because he opened your eyes? And he said, he is a prophet. However, the Yehudim did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, till they called the parents of him who had received his sight. And they asked them, saying, is this your son, who you say was born blind? How then does he now see? His parents answered them and said, we know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. But how he now sees, we do not know, or who opened his eyes, we do not know. He is of age. Ask him. He shall speak concerning himself. His parents said this because they were afraid of the Yehudim, for the Yehudim had already agreed that if anyone confessed that he was Messiah, he should be put out of the congregation. Because of this, his parents said, he is of age, ask him. So for the second time they called the man who was blind and said to him, give esteem to Elohim. We know that this man is a sinner. Then he answered and said, whether he is a sinner, I do not know. I only know that I was blind, now I see. And they asked him once more, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered them, I have told you already, and you did not hear. Why do you wish to hear it again? Do you wish to become his taught ones too? Then they abused him and said, you are his taught one, but we are taught ones of Moshe. We know that Elohim has spoken to Moshe, but this one, we do not know where he is from. The man answered and said to them, why? This is a wonder. You do not know where he is from, yet he opened my eyes. And we know that Elohim does not hear sinners, but if anyone fears Elohim and does his desire, he hears him. From of old it has never been heard that anyone opened the eyes of one who was born blind. If this one were not from Elohim, he could have done none at all. They answered and said to him, you were completely born in sins, and are you searching us or teaching us? And they cast him out. Yeshua heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said to him, "Do you believe in the Son of Elohim?" He answered and said, "Who is he, Master, that I might believe in him?" And Yeshua said to him, "You have both seen him, and he who speaks with you is he." And he said, "Master, I believe," and bowed before him. And Yeshua said, "For judgment I have come into this world, that those not seeing might see, and those seeing might become blind." And those of the Pharisees who were with him heard these words and said to him, "Are we blind too?" Yeshua said to them, "If you were blind, you would have no sin. But now you say, 'We see,' therefore your sin remains." Chapter 10. "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter through the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up another way, that one is a thief and a robber. But he who enters through the door is the shepherd of the sheep. The doorkeeper opens for him, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, because they know his voice. And they shall by no means follow a stranger, but shall flee from him, because they do not know the voice of strangers. Yeshua used this figure of speech, but they did not know what he had been saying to them. Yeshua therefore said to them again, "Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep, and all who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. Whoever enters through me shall be saved, and shall go in and shall go out and find pasture. The thief does not come except to steal and to slaughter and to destroy. I have come that they might possess life, and that they might possess it beyond measure. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. But the hireling, and not being a shepherd, one who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches the sheep and scatters them. Now the hireling flees because he is a hireling, and is not concerned about the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know mine, and mine know me, even as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. I have to bring them as well, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one flock, one shepherd. Because of this the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to receive it again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to receive it again. This command I have received from my Father." Again there came a division among the Yehudim because of these words, and many of them said, "He has a demon and is mad. Why do you listen to him?" Others said, "These are not the words of one possessed by a demon. Is a demon able to open the eyes of the blind?" At that time the Hanukkah came to be in Jerusalem, and it was winter. And Yeshua was walking in the set-apart place in the porch of Shlomo. So the Yehudim surrounded him and said to him, "How long do you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, say to us plainly." Yeshua answered them, "I have told you, and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness concerning me. But you do not believe, because you are not of my sheep, as I said to you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them everlasting life, and they shall be by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. And I and my Father are one. Again, the Yehudim picked up stones to stone him. Yeshua answered them, many good works I have shown you from my Father. Because of which of these works do you stone me? The Yehudim answered him, saying, we do not stone you for a good work, but for blasphemy, and because you, being a man, make yourself Elohim. Yeshua answered them, is it not written in your own Torah, I said, you are Elohim? If he called them Elohim, to whom the word of Elohim came, and it is impossible for the scripture to be broken, do you say of him whom the Father set apart and sent into the world, you are blaspheming because I said I am the Son of Elohim? If I do not do the works of my Father, do not believe me. But if I do, though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you know and believe that the Father is in me, and I in him. Therefore they were seeking again to seize him, but he went forth out of their hand, and went once more to the other side of the Jordan, to a place where Yohanan was immersing at first, and there he stayed. And many came to him, and said, Yohanan indeed did no sign. Yet all that Yohanan said about this man was true, and many believed in him there. Shalom.